just be sure to look at the camera, start strong, end strong. You can say whatever in between. And you can just go when you're ready.
Cool. Hi, my name is Drew Ryan. I'm the Instructional Coordinator for the Center for Teaching and Learning at Montgomery College. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Google applications, academic uses and personal uses for faculty and even staff at Montgomery College. Google has become synonymous with the web in many cases. The word has become a verb where you can actually Google someone to find out, what's going on in a particular topic. Google applications, however, have changed the way people use technology. You used to get your software from a computer, a hard box, a laptop. Now Google puts everything in the clouds. So instead of your data being on a desktop or on a USB drive, it's on the internet. And the notion of cloud computing has really changed the way people interact with technology. What you're looking at now is a word cloud that took my whole presentation and gave you the highest or the most frequently rated words in the presentation. So obviously Google is one of the words. Applications is another word. Collaboration. These are some of the things that we're going to talk about during this workshop. Wordle.net is a really cool website that allows you to take any amount of text. It could be a New York Times article, it can be an essay, it can even be PowerPoint slides, and it'll give you a layout similar to what you're looking at on the screen of the most frequently occurring words that can be used as a great summary for the classroom that you're teaching in or for a lesson you've just given over the internet. So our Wordle cloud or our word cloud says, here are the ideas that we're going to talk about over the next few minutes, and it gives you a chance to get accustomed to some of the words that I might be using during this presentation. So now for an overview of the presentation, there are three specific things we're going to talk about. One is the Technology in the Learning Space Initiative. This is a new idea from Dr. Miller Newman at the Center for Teaching and Learning that uses technology to enhance the way we engage our students in the classroom. There are a number of different elements in this initiative, but the main goal is to push collaboration, push user-driven content, and push the idea of new technologies being used in the classroom to present a 21st century classroom that our students are used to, as opposed to maybe the chalk and eraser board that we might have gone to school with. The second element we're going to talk about are Google applications. Now, most people have heard of Gmail. Now, I actually have some friends who thought Gmail stood for gangster mail, but we won't go there. It's actually Google Mail, and they were the first to give users huge amounts of data to save their email, pictures, and video. What they now have said is, we can take this a step further. We can offer Microsoft Word and Excel-like applications. We can offer video. We can offer blogs. We can offer websites. So these free Google applications almost replace some of the things that we pay big money for on the desktop. So we'll talk about some of these applications, what they are, and also the pros and cons, because technology, while it has a lot of high points, can also give you some negatives. So I'll be very honest as I explain how this technology can be used in the classroom for personal use, but then also some of the things to maybe look out for. And lastly, we'll talk about the top Google applications for learning. And you'll hear me use apps and application kind of interchangeably, but don't get lost. So apps is really just short for applications. And when I say Google Apps, I'm talking about the suite of software that Google offers to users. And applications, again, the same suite of software. So let's kind of use them interchangeably, forgive my tech speak. And then last, I'll give you a website where we can have questions and discussions so that this learning process can move outside of just the studio and the TV, but also live beyond. So, cool. So the Technology in the Learning Space Initiative, or TILSI, has three specific goals. The first is to increase the use of technology to enhance instruction. And notice the word enhance. We really know that we have a great faculty and staff learners who do a really good job of using PowerPoint. Some use clickers, some use the internet to engage students. But in 2009 and moving into 2010, we've seen a whole host of new applications come out which may not have made it into our classrooms because they're really used by a younger generation. So I'd like to be able to use this initiative to introduce some of these to faculty and then start a conversation on how these might make it into the classroom. Personally, I don't teach at Montgomery College, but I do teach at George Mason University and the University of the District of Columbia, and I've taught in high school and middle school, so I'll be able to share some ideas that I have on how these can be used in the classroom also. The second goal is to assist faculty in utilizing technology for project-based assignments. Project-based assignments say it's not an essay, it's not one person, but it's a group of people working together. And collaboration really has become the 21st century skill that most workers and trainers are looking for. So if you can work in a group of people to produce a final project in the classroom, you can do the same thing in the workplace. So we're really looking to help faculty design projects that use the internet to collaborate and allow students to meet, learn, and work together even if they're not physically co-located. And the final goal is to nurture a culture of peer training and user-generated shared technology resources. So let me break that down a little bit. Culture of peer training. So I'm a trainer. I do about 25 to 30 workshops a semester. Now, I have a classroom of people who get the good word from me, but I never see them again. So the ability to create a peer-based training system where people teach each other. So if you come to one workshop, you'll take that and share it with other people, whether it's through technology, through a meeting, is really important. The ability to share and generate your own content. So whether that's recording something you've done in class and sharing it via the web, taking an idea, a project, and posting it on a website for other faculty to view. But I'd really like to see Montgomery College become a shared resource institution where we have people who spend their time creating these technology efforts, and then the rest of us can borrow when we need it. If we don't need it, then we don't touch it, but we shouldn't all have to start from square one with everything that we do. So let's get into Google and what Google is. And I'm not going to go too deep into the company background, but it comes from a word, G-O-O-G-O-L, which is math for a 1 followed by 100 zeros. So it means a lot of information. And the company's goal is to organize the world's information and make it universally available and useful. So if you think about all the information in the world, Google has kind of taken it upon themselves to put that in one place where we can search it, where it can be stored, where it can be saved, and then when we need it, we just go ahead and get it. And to that effect, Google applications are web-based or cloud-based, so think of the web as a cloud where you have things that reside in them with self-contained information. So you think of a website, it's on the internet. You think of email, that's stored on the internet. You think of a document, whether it's Word or PowerPoint, stored on the internet. So they've said you don't need a thumb drive, you don't need a USB stick, definitely don't need a floppy drive, you don't need a CD. If you use Google, most of your data can actually be stored on the web, so wherever you are, you can access it. So let's see some of the pros and cons of Google in the classroom and how it's been able to be used by others. Let's start with the pros first. First, Google provides a collaborative environment. So we've all had the email that gets sent out from our supervisor or maybe even our team lead, our department lead, and says, hey, I'd like everyone to comment on this. So it gets sent out to 7 people. Those 7 people make comments, send them back to the team lead, and now you have 7 different documents. Well, if the document resides on the internet, now there's one document that everyone can go and access. So when person A makes a change, saves it, when person B goes to add their input, it's already there from person A and they can build off of what that first person said. Think about trying to design a training program or trying to design a class that you may be co-teaching with someone. Having one document that people can access, and whether that's a Word document, PowerPoint, Excel, it's there for you. So you never have to say, where's the file? All you're doing is going to the internet and clicking, and you'll be able to get that document in the latest and greatest version of it. The second pro for Google in the classroom, freedom from desktop applications. And you should think $signs. If you ever had to buy a license from Microsoft Office or Corel or any of the popular suites out there, it's not pocket change.